My Lords, I'd like to ask the Noble Lord Burt to reflect on the equality implications of this suggestion of a special treatment service for those seeking assisted death. It's just that, following on from the previous contribution, in fact, from the Noble Baroness Royal, everybody, it seems to me, would want for themselves or their loved ones a personal state-funded navigator, if you're a patient. But maybe for care. But I mean, those people on trolleys, those people waiting for operations, those people trying to find their way into the care system, I mean, can we all have one? And if we don't afford every patient in the country a personal navigator, isn't that an unequal access to services? It just seems a two-tier system, if you want, and one which I would think that the public would not approve of. On another issue, can I ask the Noble Lord Burt as well to detail what the workforce demands this service would require from the NHS, following on from the Noble Lord Stevens' excellent contribution. But I note that the Assisted Dying Help Service, which, by the way, is awarded significant regulatory powers in these amendments, that, which will not be subject to approval by Parliament, but will have the power to set training and qualifications for practitioners. That seems like rather a blank cheque, but I would like to know what the skill set of a navigator would be and who decides. But in all seriousness, this whole new sort of shadow service being set up with its own qualification system, recruitment, we're not quite sure who they're going to be. I mean, it's a bit worrying. And just my final query really is, I know that a lot of supporters of the bill are frustrated and have raised problems with some of the amendments that have been tabled on the basis that they're somehow creating bureaucratic preventative barriers to people who genuinely want to afford of an assisted dying service. In other words, that there's an attempt to over-engineering the process, and therefore I could maybe commend the Noble Lord Burt on this creative attempt at cutting red tape. However, in relation to these particular amendments, we all know that mandated timelines can mean shortcuts that could make the process unsafe. Could he comment on that? Because speed and process-driven decision-making is risky in any instance, but where careful assistance and safeguarding is contested, where, for example, it seems rather dangerous, panels apparently would have to decide within 2 days of referral, even sitting, by the way, over the weekend and bank holidays to make decisions, which, by the way, I think that we should apply that to everyone in the NHS, and they should do operations over the weekends and bank holidays, and doctors' surgery should be open over weekends and bank holidays, and I wish the courts would sit over bank holidays and weekends and so on, because then we wouldn't have to get rid of jury trials, allegedly. But anyway, but that would mean a referral on a Friday evening would have to be decided by a Monday. How would a panel have time to investigate everything, read everything thoroughly? Surely they'd just end up skimming things. And I do really worry as well about the reflection period being cut to 24 hours, when experts warn that initial depression after diagnosis, which is completely understandable, might well be temporary, treatable, it's certainly remedial, could last a few weeks, but then could be replaced by a more positive attitude. And in fact, the CEO of Mind told the Lord Select Committee they've gone to the brink, they've come back, and then have then been able to say 3 to 6 months later, I'm so glad that that did not happen. And all I'm saying is saying, oh, we're being really efficient. We're going to make sure that your reflection is cut to 24 hours so that you can get what you want, might well be that you don't get what you would want if you'd had a bit longer to reflect.